welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be really fun because we are doing a book bingo. Yay! I wanted to do this video from a really long period of time. Also, if you think that I'm posting a lot of book related content, it's just because I love books. Let me tell you what is the game. You know the typical bingo that we do, right? So it is just in a book version. For example, this is like the entire book bingo sheet that I have for myself. I'll just pop it out somewhere here or there, wherever I find place. And suppose the first thing says currently owned but I've never read. So if I have any book that I currently have I've never read, I have to circle it and talk about that book. Simple, okay? So let's just start with today's video. My pen here and my checklist. Today I'm feeling quite feminine, so there's a lot of pink and red. Okay, so first thing says currently own a book but I've never read. There's so many books that I have but I've never read. So let's just circle it. And that book happens to be, by the way, I have my library here. The reason I'm not showing it because it's quite messed up. I really have to arrange it and we'll do a vlog arranging it. But for now, let's just look there and pretend. Finally found the book that I've never read. It's called All the Bright Place by Jennifer Niven. I have this book sitting on my bookshelf for a really long period of time. Really high time for now for me to read it. So I'm gonna read it soon. It will be on my TBR. This one says part of a series. I have series. Here's are the series. These are the Magnus Chase series. This is the writer of the Percy Jackson. I never read Percy Jackson. I've never read Magnus Chase. The reason why I bought this book that it is because it talks about Norse mythology, and I was really into Thor. So I thought, why not? I haven't read even one of it, but I'm really looking forward to read all of the books because I have a long TBR sitting on my shelf. I can't even tell you how big that TBR is, but we are going to try to complete it, okay? The next bingo says graphic novel. I have only one graphic novel, no surprise, and that. So these are the only two graphic novels that I have for now. It's the Heartstopper series. I only read two. There are like 4 to it. So I didn't got volume 3 and 4. I have volume 1 and 2. Let's move on to another book. It says historical fiction. Do I have an historical fiction book? Oh, why did I circle it without thinking about it? Historical fiction. So I'm doing a little cheating here. I don't have a proper historical fiction book, but I think I have 7. Seven Husbands of Elvin Hugo. It fits the criteria because I have my own reasons, okay? Don't come at me for it. It's history because it's like talking about the late 1950s Hollywood. So I think it's history. So the next requirement to complete the bingo is published in 2019. I have no idea which book released in 2019. I don't want to sit back and just Google the books that were released in 2019. It's just a lot of time consuming. I think we'll just leave the block. Let's move on to the next one. It says a classic or a retelling. Do I have a classic or a retelling? I do have a classic. I also have a retelling. Let me show you. So the classic book I have is called Wuthering Heights. I have never read this book because I gave it to my cousin and she said it's boring. And because she said it's boring and didn't make any sense for me to read it, why will I waste my time? I have more interesting books to read. So I haven't read this book. Next is a retelling. We have The Curse, So Dark and Lonely. This book right here is retelling of Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney princess movie. So that's why I got this. And so these are these two books. Retelling and classic. So the next one is a number in a title. I have this book called November 9 by Colin Hoover. It's my favorite romance book and I gave it to my cousin to read it. So I don't have a physical copy right now, but I'll just put a picture here. Next category is more than 400 pages. I do have a lot of fat books. So here's the book. It's called Jojo Moyo's Me Before You. Like 497 pages, which is almost 500, and I finished reading this book. The next says set in another world. I think the Magnus Chase really fits the criteria really well. Next says purple on the cover. Let's go fetch a purple book. Couple book that we have is called She Broke Up, I Didn't, I Just Kissed Someone Else by Durjoy Datta. To be honest, I read this book half. I think I read 50 pages. Not 50, 52 to be precise. And lot of bookmarks. Oh my god. Can you see so many of my bookmarks? And I was looking for them. The next row says diverse author. What does that mean? Doom of me to not know what a diverse author is. A diverse author is someone who just write books of different genre. In New Zealand, none. Less than 200 pages. It is How to Be a Writer by Ruskin Bond. If you've been reading, okay, so this is like a secret I'm gonna reveal today, that because I read a lot, I think that I have a potential to be a writer. I do write few things and then I don't show it to anyone, so that's why I got this. By the way, this is a really good book, I would say. It has 117 pages to it and it's a really good book. And I thought I'll need this book, so I got this in hardcover. See? Rich. So the next category is fantasy. Big circle, I have everything fantasy. But ladies and gentlemen, that book is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy and Jaime. Okay, so it's like, am I screaming? Sorry. So it's like 529 pages. And it's the first fantasy book that I ever read. Imagine, I read like a 529 page book as my first fantasy book. So the next says dystopian. I've never read a book that is set in a dystopian era. Set in high school. I have all the bright places that just fits that category properly. So we'll just continue with that book. The next category is one word title. So I have Confess by Colin Hoover, that just fits the criteria perfectly. The next criteria says a reread, something that I will read again. So it is Ugly Love by Colin Hoover. It was my first book of Colin Hoover that I read ever, and I can't tell you, this book has so much of mixed emotions in it and it's beautiful. Like, I can read it again, cry over it again. That's how. So the next one says has been made into a movie. Of course I have. So it is The White Tiger by Arvind Adiga. I didn't relate to this book much, but people say that it's a really good book. You can find The White Tiger on Netflix in case you want to watch. Okay, the next one says middle grade. I have nothing that is set in middle grade. Sword on the cover. I really love fantasy, but surprisingly none of them have sword on their cover. It's sad. It says award winning. Actually, I was going through the White Tiger book and I realized it's written there. So it's just written right up there. Winner of a Man Booker Prize 2008. So I think it fits the criteria. The last one says banned book. I don't have any banned book. The last one says non-human characters. I don't have Vampire Diaries. So I think we are done with the bingo. That was it for the video. If you guys love this video, please do subscribe to my channel, hit the bell notification, like and comment and share this video, guys. Love you so much. See you in my next video. Bye.